My wife death the best Christmas gift I received. In early 2022, I caught my wife having an affair with one of her ex-partners. Our marriage wasn't perfect, and I'll admit that I was not the best husband. But I tried my best. I put forth effort throughout our 5-year relationship. I put my all into the relationship. I couldn't tell her the same thing. Shortly after I caught her, I was forced to face the truth about who she was. She illegally evicted me from our shared home, lied, tried to convert the police in order to get me arrested, and she tried to get me fired from my job, and she tried to turn all of my friends against me as well. Some of these did work, while others didn't. So, she has made my life a living hell since the day I filed for divorce, and she has used our separation to try to drain all of my financial and emotional strength. The only benefit was that we didn't have any children for her to use as weapons, but I quickly found that her strict birth control policy with me did not extend to her affair partner, who had gotten her pregnant 5 months ago. I thought that this would help speed up the divorce, but it only gives her the strength to try and destroy me. On Christmas Eve, my wife and her affair attended a party, where they both got drunk. I find this horrible because all of her friends knew she was pregnant. Her affair drove them home, which proved to be a huge mistake, cost him their life. In the state where I live, our divorce is now assumed to have never even begun. I'll be able to claim her life insurance policy and return to my own home. Her parents called me yesterday, heartbroken. As if the last year had never happened, they offered their full support to my funeral plans for her. My confusion was unbelievable, but the apple does not fall far from the tree when it comes to my wife. I told them that if they wanted a funeral, they'd have to pay for it. I will pay for her cremation and deliver her ashes to them in the cheapest urn available if they prefer. They called me terrible and tried to guilt me about her life insurance, but after only 5 minutes, I decided to hang up and blocked all of her family's phone numbers. I'll be taking a few extra days off work over the next week to move back into my house. I've already arranged for her belongings to be removed, leaving my home as an empty canvas on which to begin my life anew. Now I'm sure there is a God because what happened to them was karma for what they did to me, but I truly believe I have come out on the other side of the storm. OPs respond to comment 1. You can judge me however you want. I will not argue about how my actions affect other people's opinions about me. I just know that if the tables were turned, my wife would be shopping for a car with the money she get from my life insurance policy. Ops respond to a comment 2 about his wife parents. You're correct. I don't like them, but they deserve to have her things if they want them. I'll unblock her mother and offer to make arrangements to deliver her belongings wherever she wants. If she wants everything or just a few things, I'll cover the cost and deliver it to her. I already paid to have it hauled and trashed, so there's no point in caring where it goes. I cut those people out of my life after they turned against me over false allegations, which I had video evidence that proves were false. If her lies exposed in 4K aren't enough to persuade them, they're nothing more than anchors to be cast into the sea. I'll be going to install cameras at my house today, and the locks have already been replaced. My divorce lawyer has already given me suggestions, and I will meet with an attorney on Tuesday. Update. I've decided to explain on a few common threads I see in this post because responding to all of the comments is too much. To begin with, some people are judging me for how I am reacting to the deaths of 3 people. You are correct, it is not normal or healthy. I have no feelings for my ex at the moment. When I found out she had died, all of my hatred, anger, and regret vanished. I'm feeling nothing but relief right now. This void has slowly consumed me over the last few days. I feel numb. It feels like I'm dreaming. As if what happened were not real. This woman made my life a living hell for more than a year. She set out to destroy me and would not stop until she succeeded. I don't like how I feel about the deaths of 3 people. But that is not a box I am ready to unpack right now. Second, I called my ex-wife mother today, and things have been more civil so far. I'll pay the moving company to move her belongings to one of their storage units, and they can handle the rest. Her mother informed me that they could not afford to host my ex's funeral. I am the sole legal beneficiary of her life insurance. Despite the previous tension with her family, I told her mother that I would give them a small amount of her life insurance so that they could officiate and arrange burial services for her. This is conditional on severing all ties, and I will not participate in her funeral in any other capacity. I will still be talking to a lawyer. Finally, I will not go into detail other than to say that she, her affair, and their unborn child were the only lives lost. Some people suggest I sell the house right now, but all I want is to return to my house. The details of where I end up, whether there or somewhere over the rainbow, are unknown. I have no idea what life holds for me or any of us. This situation happened, likely for a reason, or perhaps the universe has no logic completely. This gift ended a time frame in my life that had brought me to the edge of collapse. It's morbid to think that the deaths of 3 people were what kept me alive. It's interesting how quickly things can change or end. Moving to the second story, but don't forget to subscribe for more story. My husband who dumped me now pays me not to file for divorce. My husband of 25 years decided to end our marriage. I begged him to reconsider, but he refused, leaving me to spend many nights crying on the bathroom floor. One important thing to remember is that I was responsible for the family's health insurance. He is self-employed. When he refused to change his mind, we filed for legal separation, and he moved out. Meanwhile, I got a new job that pays 100% of the family's health and dental insurance premiums, with a $100 tax deduction. Sweet. He can still be on my insurance because we are legally separated rather than divorced, and it ends up costing me nothing. But I am extremely petty. So, I charge him $400 per month for something that costs me nothing. He is of course free to obtain insurance on his own in the marketplace, which will most likely cost at least twice as much for a similar policy. I make sure he knows that having him on my insurance costs me nothing and that his $400 monthly payment is funding my upcoming vacation to Spain. In my state, if you have a legal separation, getting a divorce is as simple as filling out a form and paying $60. If I did that, he would no longer be covered under my insurance. So he's basically paying me $400 each month not to file for divorce after deciding he no longer wants to be married. I love it. OP's responded to comments saying it's illegal to do so. My family law attorney, estate attorney, his attorney, my health insurance company, and my employer all agreed with this method. So, if you know more than all those parties combined, have at it. I reported the income to the Internal Revenue Service, IRS. People who say, but what about alimony? Clearly have no idea how any of this works. Thank you guys.